Welcome back to Zepbound and Beyond with Nita V. My name is Anita, and I'm currently on a journey to lose well over 50 pounds on Zepbound. And I want to share that journey here on YouTube. I am 5'7", and currently, as of today, I am 248.6 pounds. So I'm actually up 0.2 pounds from my last weigh-in last week, which was 248.4. But I'm not sweating it too much. It's not that big of a difference. And history for me has always been I'll usually lose a nice amount of weight, and then the next week or two things will just kind of slow down, and the third week or fourth week or so along in the process I'll end up having what we refer to as a whoosh, and I'll end up losing another significant amount of weight. So initially, when I saw that earlier this week, I was a little down about it, but I had to think about it and not beat myself up too bad, because I knew that I had been doing what I needed to do over the past 2 weeks when it comes to my eating. I've been very good about my meals and watching my calorie intake. I think it's just a matter of time before the weight, starts coming off. So we'll see what next week brings. So in my previous week 2, things were about the same as they were week 1. I suffered from some fatigue and nausea that seems to come on maybe like the second day or so after taking the shot. My shot days are on Wednesdays, and I have noticed that the first day after taking the shot is the effects aren't so strong, and that hunger isn't dwindled too much. But the second day going forward, it really kicks in, and I'm literally just not hungry at all. So as the week kind of goes on, maybe around day 5, day 6, I start to notice that hunger starts to creep back in just a little bit. It's definitely doing what it needs to do. In addition to the nausea, I did have a little bit of a headache as well last week, but again, I'm just really trying to be diligent about getting in the correct amount of food and making sure I drink plenty of water. I've been really struggling with that, to be honest, though. My goal had been to get 64 ounces in at a minimum, and most days I'm only getting maybe, I don't know, 3 of those 16-ounce bottles, maybe 3.5 of those, and not actually meeting my goal. So there's still some progress that can be made there. What I'm eating, I have a couple of different things that I have been resorting to, and that have been keeping me going steady. As far as my breakfasts, I've been enjoying having cottage cheese in the morning, like a cup of cottage cheese with frozen blueberries on top of it, and a little drizzle of honey. I never thought that I would enjoy cottage cheese as much as I have been enjoying it over the last week or so, but that's actually a really tasty meal. Another breakfast option that I've been having a lot of is the Kodiak waffles, the ones that have 10 grams of protein. Those are pretty good. The directions say to put it in the microwave for like 30 minutes and then pop it in the toaster for like another 30 to 45 seconds, but I think I prefer just microwaving it. I don't really like my waffle crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. I want it to be soft all the way through, so I think I'm just going to stick with popping it in the microwave for 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds or so, and having it that way with some eggs and maybe some turkey bacon or something like that. Those have been the 2 main breakfasts. Actually, no, I've been having on the weekends, I like to do a little oatmeal sometimes, and with my oatmeal I'll do the instant kind. It comes in the box, not the little packets, but they have a 1-minute quick oats, I believe is what it's called, Quaker does, and I'll usually pour enough for 1 to 2 servings and use my Fairlife or Core drinks as my liquid to make that, and those have been working fairly well for me as far as for breakfast. Lunches, I do have a subscription to Factor. I don't know how long I'm going to keep up with it, but I started it before I started on Zepbound, and I've been using those as like a lunch or potential dinner. I just kind of mix it up depending upon how I feel and whatnot. And then there's lots of chicken in the diet, lots of fish like canned salmon. I do like sardines too. Open up a can of those and put it on a plate with some sauteed vegetables like onions and peppers and whatnot. And squeeze like a little bit of lemon juice on top of the fish, whether it be the salmon or the sardines. So some salt and pepper, and put like a little avocado or something on the side. It's a nice breakfast. It's a nice breakfast. I enjoy it. I don't think I mentioned last week that I'm also exercising, which I think that could play a factor in what I'm seeing on the scale too. I'm doing weights more so than cardio. I've committed to 3 days a week, and on Tuesdays I have a lower body routine that I do. Focuses on my glutes and legs. Then on Thursdays I have like a little chest and back routine that I'm doing. Saturdays is shoulders and arms. Yeah, biceps, shoulders and biceps. And I'm using a combination of weights, actual weights with bars, and I have a total gym down in my basement. So, I'm using that as well. My Tuesday workout, it revolves around all lower body. I usually do some leg extensions, 3 sets of those, 12 reps each. And then I move into deadlifts, and the same, do 3 sets and 12 reps. I also do use my total gym and do leg presses there. And for the leg presses, I generally just do 100 of those. Just set it at the weight that I want to work out at and do 100. And then move right into like a plie squat on the total gym, where I'm focused on trying to hit my inner thighs. Once I'm done with those groups, I'll usually just head over to the treadmill and do maybe a 15 to 20 minute walk. And this routine takes me about 45 minutes or so to do. And yeah, that's the Tuesday routine. I'm trying to put on muscle at the same time as I'm dropping this weight, as opposed to waiting until I've lost the weight that I wanted. I want to see what doing those two things will give me as far as results. So I did realize that I did not do like a before picture when I started all of this. So the plan is today is to take a picture of myself and then just kind of use that as my starting base. And maybe I'll share it with you guys at the end of this video, maybe not, but I'll definitely share it along the way. And just again have it as a pick for where I started, and hopefully be a nice contrast to where I end up months down the road. So that's basically my update for today. Just for the record, I am doing my shots in my legs, so I'm just alternating back and forth between my thighs. That just, I feel like that works well for me. I'm just gonna keep with that and for now, and then if the need arises, I feel like the weight isn't coming off, or the potency of the shot isn't as strong as I feel it could be, then I'll consider trying it in my stomach and my arms. But for right now, the legs is where it's at. But yeah, that's pretty much my update for this week, the end of week 2. Today is actually Friday, so I'm 2 days into week 2. But that's all that I have for today. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video for my week 3 results. Bye.